And we're live. It's on Alex.
Oh, what's up, man?
Gotta be.
Go to chance.
Yeah. All right. You can see me now. What's up, metalheads? Welcome to another episode of Full Metal 5. I'm your host, Chance Ellison. This is pretty much our top 5 show where we have a different topic every week. List the top 5 best or worst of said topic. Intro show. Take notes. Episode in honor of in honor of the disaster artists, we are doing the top 5 movies about movies. An esteemed panel with me today. We already cut to him. Let's go to the Omega, Alex Worden. Alex, what's up?
All right. What's up, metalheads? Sorry about that technical difficulty there. I guess after the last few matches in our league, Mark is used to starting on me. That being said, though, I am very excited about today's topic. If my list is any indication, we're going to have some fun movies to talk about today. We've got a great panel to talk about it, and I'm just looking forward to getting down to the discussion.
Right on. Also part of our admin team, he is the Adam. He is our head question writer. He's Jeremy the Adam. What's up?
Hey, I'm really excited to be on the show today. I'm really excited for this topic. You know, it might be a shock to a lot of people, but I really like movies. So I'm happy to talk about movies and movies about movies and inceptioning movies inside of other movies. So let's do this, and it's going to be good.
You don't say, buddy. Also, a returning guest. I believe his debut was our Christmas episode. And the There Will Be Trivia Season 2 champion.
Woo!
Robert, how you doing?
I am great. Really excited to be here. My list is, just kind of a little bit haphazardly compiled, but I'm looking forward to getting into it. This is a really interesting topic. So, you said it yourself. We got a lot of fun movies to talk about. Looking forward to it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we can go all day about this. And finally, he's the resident rookie on this panel. From across the world, we have the Hobbit, not the Hobbit. We have, sorry, I think all you New Zealanders are Hobbits. We have the Crusher, Malcom Lay. Malcolm, what's up?
Yeah, pretty good. Just happy to be here. I've got an interesting list here, so.
I'm gonna coin a new term: fantasy racism.
I'm assuming short. He's hairy, and I'm assuming short. So I thought it was a Hobbit. I'm sorry. And he's from New Zealand. All right. So the way this works, we break this up into 3 selection processes. The first selection process is the nomination round. What we're each gonna do, we're gonna go around and nominate movies until we have a top 7. Top 7, it has to get the majority vote. So it has to get 3 votes to make the list. Nominations. With one of my personal favorite movies of all time, and that's Singing in the Rain. Is one of the great classic films of all time, one of the great musicals of all time, has great performances from Gene Kelly, Donald O'Connor, a breakout performance from Debbie Reynolds, R.I.P. Also, it has so many cool moments, some great songs, some that are so iconic today, like who on a street lamp, who doesn't think Singing in the Rain? I think it is an absolute classic among films, and I think it absolutely deserves to be on this list. We'll go to, he's the new guy, so we'll go to Malcolm first. Malcolm, the Singing in the Rain, make top 7.
Well, I completely forgot it was about making movies, to be honest, and it's one of my favorite musicals of all time, so yeah, it definitely goes in.
All right. Now let's go to Jeremy next. Jeremy, Singing in the Rain, does it make it?
Oh, number 2 on my list, absolutely. And it's really great because on one hand, it's really accurate about silent movies and moving into the sound era, but on the other hand, it's a great fantasy too. So it's the best of everything.
Right, so that settles it. Singing in the Rain gets the very first spot on our top 7. Alex and Robert, you guys didn't get to, you guys both didn't matter. What would you guys have said?
Absolutely would have said yes.
Yeah, agreed. You said it yourself. Highly quotable, highly memorable, great cast. It's got to be in there.
Yeah, for sure.
I actually got to watch it on the big screen once, and it's absolutely amazing.
Oh, man.
He's the newbie here on this panel. Malcolm, let's go to you next. What film do you want to throw up for the top 7?
Well, I'm going to throw out Saving Mr. Banks.
Oh.
It's got
Oh wow.
A great cast. Like Tom Hanks killed it as Walt Disney. Like Emma Thompson's great as P.L. Travers. I mean, like it really showed all the troubles that Disney had with making Mary Poppins and how it almost never came to be. So it should be on the list.
Well, before I go to the voting, I just want to say I did place a bet on what your first nomination was going to be, and I lost.
Yep.
So
You lost.
yeah, I did lose that bet. Damn it. All right. So since your vote didn't count last time, let's go to The Hobbit. Robert, thanks. Make the list.
Yeah, it was in my top 5 as well. I would
Wow.
absolutely say yes on this one. I love this movie. It's got an Oscar-nominated, awesome Thomas Newman score. 2 fantastic performances in the lead there by Emma Thompson and Tom Hanks. And I love the story, like just of Mary Poppins in the first place, and then just seeing more of the backstory on the author and the creator of the characters. I think is just brilliant. So yeah, absolutely on here for me.
Another great performance in that movie, Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell's
yeah.
awesome in that movie.
Very much.
And, Alex, your vote also didn't count last time. So what do you say?
You know what?
I mean, I
Mr. Banks,
know how you feel about Disney.
Yeah.
I know how you feel about Disney.
Here's the-
So keep that
I
up.
actually really like Tom Hanks' portrayal of Walt Disney in that movie. I love Emma Thompson in general. I don't think I've ever seen a movie she's in that I don't like because of her. Colin Farrell was great in it. I love the setting. I love how they made the movie feel like 50s, 60s Disney in terms of the setup. But in terms of top 5 and top 7 movies about making movies, I just think from my list alone, I have a few other picks that I think are a bit more impactful to cinema. So I'm actually going to take a pass on this.
Oh, so you're saying no?
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go to Jeremy next. Jeremy, what do you say?
It's very, very rare that I would vote against Disney, but unfortunately I am this time. I really like the movie. It's a very good movie, but I don't think, like Alex said, it's quite at the top. And as a Disney purist, I have some issues with it. I think I was pulling my hair out during the Disneyland scenes because they screwed that up real bad. But, good movie, just doesn't quite get there for me.
Oh, so it's up to me this time. Oh, great. This is tough. This movie. It was one of my favorite movies to come out that year. It was the story of the making of one of my favorite films, Mary Poppins, which I love and I watch all the time. I'm giving it the yes.
Oh.
Top 7.
Okay. I'm not going to begrudge that. Honestly, it is a great movie. Totally worthy pick.
It's okay.
I say let's go to Jeremy. Let's go to Jeremy next. Jeremy.
All right, I got to go with my number 1. I'll throw it out there. I feel like it's a movie that isn't appreciated nearly enough. A lot of people haven't seen it, and it's one that I quote nearly every day. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about it, and it's, for me, hands down my favorite Tim Burton film. That would be 1994's Ed Wood. Very fitting to tie in with The Disaster Artist. This is about Edward D. Wood Jr., played by Johnny Depp, and one of his greatest, funniest performances for me. Totally captures this guy who's making B movies in the 50s. Terrible movies, but he's passionate about it. Martin Landau was fantastic as Bela Lugosi, Oscar-winning role. And it's one of my favorite unsung Bill Murray performances as the drag queen Bunny Breckenridge. I can't talk. Bunny Breckenridge. It's just a funny movie. It's lovingly made. Tim Burton, there's a little bit of an autobiographical element because he had a relationship with Vincent Price before Vincent passed away. And this movie is about the relationship between Ed Wood and Bela Lugosi, the great horror actor. So it's very heartfelt. It's so well made. It's so funny. And if I can just do a dramatic rendering of my favorite scene real quick. This is my Ed Wood. Hello there. Wanted to see if you guys have seen my movie. Worst movie ever saw. Well, I promise my next one will be better. Hello? That's Ed Wood.
All right, well, Ed Wood's on the table since I was deciding vote last time. I'm going first. Yes. I know like we're doing that a lot here on the show, but you're right. Like, I love Ed Wood. I think it's one of Johnny Depp's better performances. Burton's best movies. I love Ed Wood, so yeah, it gets a yes from me. To Let's go to The Hobbit next. Hobbit.
Yeah, so this is a movie that I think, in my opinion, I think this is one of the most grounded Tim Burton movies. There are definitely times when he gets lost in design elements and visual elements, and it just becomes Batman Returns.
Yeah, that's not hard to do.
There are also times when he stays really, really grounded in reality and just makes a kick-ass film, and Ed Wood is that. So it's an absolute yes for me.
Yay.
So I believe that's it. Ed Wood makes the list.
Yay.
Malcolm, Alex, what would you have said?
It's number 2 on my list, so
Woo!
yes, it would have made it in.
Malcolm?
I honestly haven't seen it, but based on what I know about it, I would have said yes.
Not a problem. Not a lot of people
Fair.
haven't. A lot of people haven't.
All right, let's go to Alex next. Alex, what do you want to nominate?
Well, like Jeremy, I'm going to go with the number 1 on my list, and I'm going to go the opposite end into a movie about modern filmmaking, modern egos, and one of the funniest movies of the last decade, and that is Tropic Thunder. This movie came out the same summer as Iron Man and The Dark Knight, so it kind of got lost in the shuffle when people remembered 2008. But this movie is just every level. It hits it. It makes fun of big Hollywood egos, Hollywood actors, producers, agents, modern filmmaking techniques, special effects, and at the same time, it kind of turns into an effective movie about war, and it actually gets really good at points. I mean, all credit to Ben Stiller. He knocked it out of the park. This is probably the best film he ever made to this day, and yeah, it's one of my favorite comedies of the last 10 years, one of my favorite movies of the last 10 years, and it's about making movies in a modern setting. I think it should be in the top 5, no problem at all.
Let's go to Malcolm first, since your vote didn't count last time. Malcolm, what would you have said?
Well, so I mean, I like Tropic Thunder myself, but I don't think it's in the top 7 best movies about making movies. So it's a no for me.
Okay.
It's my number 4. It's a yes. Well, the insight that you get from the Robert Downey Jr. character alone is like one of the greatest comedic looks, but really a real look into the process of a crazy method actor and just how that can kind of manifest itself. I just love that movie's great. Yes.
If you're watching this, take notes.
Yeah, exactly.
Take notes. And Robert.
Oh, sorry, you cut out there. This is definitely a yes for me as well. It's an Oscar-nominated Robert Downey Jr. performance. It's great comedic and dramatic performances from Jack Black, Robert Downey Jr., Ben Stiller. It's a great comedy, great movie about making movies. So it's definitely in the top 7 for sure.
I like to let the record show if this movie did blackface and no one cared.
Those method actors,
Blackface.
man.
It did blackface.
They go to some crazy places.
So yeah, Tropic Thunder gets spot on the list. Count. So I still would have said yes because I love Tropic Thunder. All right, Robert, you're the only one that hasn't got to nominate something, so your turn.
Sure, so I'm going to go with a little bit of probably an obscure pick. You guys might not have it on your list, but it's no secret that I'm not a big fan of horror movies. But there is one that I think is just fantastic, and it's about making movies, and that's the Blair Witch Project. I think this movie is incredible. It began the revolution that we know as the found footage horror movie. And it's about these kids who are out in the woods filming their journey. I think this is great. So I'm putting Blair Witch Project up there.
And last time, so I'll go first. Okay, I think in the time Blair Witch came out, the huge impact it made, I think, 50 times more than what its budget was. I'm gonna say no, just because I think as time has gone past, I still think it's good. I don't think it holds up as well as it did when it came out in '99. That's a no for me for Blair Witch Project. Let's go to Alex next.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Chance, not only because there are elements of the film that don't hold up. The thing is, I remember Blair Witch more for the horror element than the movie being about making a movie element. That, to me, is the ultimate sign of if this were a modern horror movies list, yes, absolutely, it has its place as the founding mother of found footage movies. But in terms of a movie about making a movie, it's not really that memorable for that aspect of it.
All right. So that's 2 votes. That's 2 votes. Now let's go to Jeremy.
Look, I'm going to say no for a different reason. I really like the movie. I think it's great. The reason I'm not putting it on is because I have another movie higher on my list that's also about low-budget guerrilla-style type filmmaking that is just, I think, should get the nod instead. If you're going to go for that kind of filmmaking, I have another movie I want to throw out there, and that's the only reason I'm not going to go for Blair Witch, because it's really great.
I like Blair Witch. I just don't think it holds up as well as it did in the 90s. So that's Blair. Sorry, Robert, Blair Witch did not make the list. Looks like you're the mark of the episode.
Yeah.
Looks like you're the mark this time.
That's right. As long as Jingle All the Way isn't on this list, that's all I care about.
Nope.
What would you say?
Mark will try to find a way to get it on there.
I would have said a no as well, because I've got another horror movie which is about making movies, which should be up there.
I think I know where you're going. I think I know where you're going.
I think I know where you're going too, but I'll wait. All right, so I'm next for nominations. Come back full circle. Jingle All the Way. No, I'm kidding. This one you guys might not have thought about. Super 8.
Oh,
Super 8, I think, harkens back to being a filmmaker when you're a kid. Like, if you were a kid and you had a passion for film, and you would like make home movies, and like I think that's the biggest part of the movie. It's not about the sci-fi alien robot nonsense. It's about these kids going about life trying to make this zombie film, and it shows like they're kind of like Ed Wood Jr. Like they're just so passionate about it.
Yeah.
And there's something really endearing about that. Like if you were a kid, if you have passion for film, this really speaks to you. Super great. Malcolm, your vote didn't count last time, so we'll go to you first.
Well, it's a no. Just simply because I actually thought Super 8 is very overrated itself.
Okay, that's fine. Let's go to Alex next. Alex, Super 8.
See, for me, the main problem with Super 8 is it's the film that to me is the ultimate sign of people's trope of J.J. Abrams not being able to make an original film, that he's constantly just ripping on his influences, in this case, Steven Spielberg and his works in the 70s and 80s, Close Encounters and E.T. The aspect you bring up, though, about the kids making movies together and having that relationship, it does hold the film together and gives it a lot of rewatchability. But in terms of, again, being about the best movies about making movies, I got to give a no as well. It doesn't have that much of an impact, and Abrams' style kind of distracts from the overall tone of the film, and that he's just trying to do his best Steven Spielberg impression as a director.
I actually really like Steven Spielberg, but that's fine. Jeremy, what do you say? Super 8. Does it make
if you're talking
list?
about the first 30, 40 minutes, then I probably would consider it. But, the movie really loses that thread a little bit of the kids and them making movies and becomes this unconvincing sort of monster movie that's kind of generic. So it's a no, but those individual scenes are fantastic. And, I understand why you would select it. So.
Okay. Well, screw you. This is my show. Super 8 makes the list. No, I'm kidding. Super 8 doesn't make it.
Since when is it your show?
Since I created the shit. No, I'm kidding. All right. So Super 8 does not make the list. Robert, what would you have said, buddy?
This is actually one that I haven't been able to see yet. It's at the top of my watch list. It is at the top of my watch list, but I haven't been able to see it yet, so I wouldn't have been able to vote.
I love the movie. I think it's great. All right, so Malcolm, you're next. What do you want to nominate?
Well, I'm going to bring up the one that I teased earlier, and I'm going to nominate Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Knew it was coming.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
It's just like it's about basically the making a movie of The Nightmare on Elm Street just going horribly well, and I just love the whole franchise, and it's just really great. It brings back the feel of the original movie, and it has they like brings back the original cast, like some of them anyway. But yeah, that's why I think it should be on the list.
All right, Wes Craven's New Nightmare is on the table. Robert, your vote didn't count last time. Have you seen this film, and what do you say?
Yeah, so I mean, Malcolm pretty much brought up all the points, how it's sort of like harkens back to the original, even though it's the seventh Nightmare on Elm Street film. It doesn't really fit in with the rest, but it really harkens back to what was so great about the first original. So I'm going to say yes for this one as well.
All right, I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna go next. Not Super 8. my mind's really focused. Wes Craven's New Nightmare was on my list.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's I think it is the best Nightmare on Elm Street sequel ever made. And I think I like the meta aspects. I like that it brought back Headland Camp. I like that Wes Craven decided to do such a different idea with his franchise. Wes Craven's New Nightmare makes the list, and I didn't think it'd get brought up. Jeremy, Alex, what would you have said?
I would have only said no because I have other ones I want to get in on there. I mean, it would probably be like 9 or 10 for me, but it's great though. Everyone that hasn't seen it, watch it, please.
I was debating this one on my list, but I had left it off. But I'm a fan of it. As mentioned, it is the second best Nightmare on Elm Street movie. So yeah, I wouldn't have put it up there, but I can agree with it being on the list.
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking at Mark. He says we have 5 movies on the list, so we have 2 more spots.
Oh boy.
So let's go to Jeremy next. Jeremy.
All right. Well, I can either go with the classic or the non-classic on my list. I think I'm going to try to fight for the non-classic because I'll have more of a shot. I mentioned earlier that I didn't put Blair Witch on because there was another movie about guerrilla indie filmmakers that I think is way above Blair Witch for me. And, you know, you may not think about it immediately, but hey, pornography is indie filmmaking in its purest form. These are indie filmmakers trying to get their movies made, and Boogie Nights, man. Boogie Nights is just one of the best. This is about people that they're passionate. They want to make art. They want to make movies. They form a little tight-knit community, and it has one of the all-time greatest lines about filmmaking, which is there's a issue when they're filming a scene and they're like, hey, do we need to go again? And the director's all, shadows in life, baby, shadows in life. Just, you know, that's what happens. We're going to film it. And it's a great movie. It's one of Paul Thomas Anderson's best films. You know, such great performances all the way through. Julianne Moore will break your heart. And it really, when you're making a movie, it doesn't matter what it is. Indie film, student film, which I've made many, so I know. Hollywood film, that's a tight-knit group. That's a family. That bonds you in a way that is very unique, and I don't think any other movie really captures that in the way that Boogie Nights does. So I'm voting Boogie Nights.
Let's go to Alex next. Alex, vote on the porn movie.
Well, we know if Haven Pendergast was here, this would be his number 1. For me, it was in my top 7. So yes, it gets in the top 7 here.
All right, let's cut to Robert next. Robert, your feelings on the porn movie?
Well, Boogie Nights is towards the top of my top 7, so yeah, absolutely. Yay! That's a yes for me.
Oh, Boogie Nights, make the list. I would have given it a yes also. I think Boogie Nights is amazing. It's one of Mark Wahlberg's better performances. And it's my favorite. Personally, it's my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movie. Malcolm, what do you say? Would Boogie Nights have made the list for you?
I mean, it's one that I didn't actually think of it at all, but yeah, they would make the list.
Yeah.
All right. So Boogie Nights makes the list.
Last one.
All right.
Last one.
We have one more spot up for grabs. Alex, what do you get?
Okay, this is where I'm stuck because I'm debating between 2 on my list that I'd love to nominate, but I'm actually going to go with a documentary, and the documentary is 1991's release of Hearts of Darkness,
Oh my God.
Filmmaker's Apocalypse. This movie, made by Fax Bear and Eleanor Coppola, details the 2+ year production of Francis Ford Coppola's Apocalypse Now. You get to see the man suffer and torment himself for his art. You get to see real guerrilla filmmaking in the jungles of Southeast Asia, in the middle of typhoons, with actors refusing to work with him or speak to him, the man going anemic and suffering weight loss because of his stress of filmmaking. and seeing a man transform for his art, not to mention everyone around him, whether or not you can trust him, and what the end product is, and compared to what you suffer through to make a film. This, to me, is a documentary that when I saw it, it gave me a whole new appreciation for Apocalypse Now and filmmaking in general. So if you'll allow it, being a documentary, I want to put this on the list. I think it deserves a spot up there.
Because it was a thing that was shot on a camera. It was a film that was shot on a camera, so it counts. Malcolm, your vote didn't count last time. So have you seen Heart of Darkness? And does it make the list for you?
I actually haven't seen it, but
No.
I want to say no, just because there's one on here that I want to fight for.
So that's enough. That's enough from Malcolm. Coming to me next. I have seen Heart of Darkness, and it's hard to watch Transport Couple go through all this crap. Like this movie had, for those of you who don't know, so many production problems, like down from the filming techniques. Francis Coppola was like literally, he was losing weight, pulling his hair out. Marlon Brando showed up overweight, underprepared. They had to feed him his line through an earpiece.
But Monsoon
really good.
destroyed their sets.
Yeah, monsoons. This is hard for me, but tentative no. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think there are other ones that I think should be on this list. It's a no. It's a no for me. Jamie.
I'm going to say no for the weirdest reason ever, because I love it too much.
Wow.
I think that documentaries about filmmaking should be their own list.
Yeah.
I think it's unfair to put a movie like that on this list with these other types of movies, because you've got that movie, it's fantastic. You've got My Best Fiend, the Klaus Kinski, Werner Herzog movie. There's so many great documentaries about the making of film. So that's definitely a top 7 I'd personally love to do, and I just think it's a little unfair to cross them. But man, it's a great movie. Everyone watch it, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah, you should watch. It's hard to watch Friends for a couple of go through this, but yeah, give it a watch.
Yeah.
Robert, what would you have said?
Strangely, I think Jeremy read my mind and stole what I was going to say. I was just going to say no for the same reason Jeremy did, is I think documentaries should be on a separate list, just because, up against more so fiction films like this, or more so narrative films like this, I think that it just wouldn't have been able to hold its own against these others that we have.
I think it's better. I think it's better
good.
than narrative fills. I think the documentaries are better. But whatever. No matter how you look.
Well, we got that conversation the other day. Robert, you're up. What do you want to know?
100%, guys. I was gonna nominate the appendices from Lord of the Rings, but I'm not gonna do that.
Dear God.
And that's a joke.
Alex, have at him.
No, I was gonna do that, but I'm not gonna. I put it at number 8 just so that I could throw it in there. I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna go with Best Picture winner, The Artist. This is one that a lot of people, I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know if it'll get on or not, but I know a lot of people have problems with this movie. But I think for me, it really throws back. It's just such a callback to classic Hollywood. It's a silent black and white film from 2011. It's got really great performances, Oscar-nominated performances. It's a Best Picture winner. I think this is just a fantastic movie that deserves to be in contention for the top 5.
All right, Jeremy.
No. It's fine. It's okay.
No.
Let's go watch actual silent films, guys. There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah, that's just it. To me, it's not an effective silent film, and it comes from an era of Hollywood where it won the Oscar for Best Picture because it was in an era where the Academy was unwilling to take a risk on nominating other films that had more cultural impact. They wanted to go with a safe bet of, it's a movie about making movies. Yay, Hollywood! Yeah, no.
Yep.
Doesn't make the list for me.
All right, Malcolm.
It was on my list, so definitely it's on a yes for me.
So it comes down to goddamn. All right.
No chance.
I hate my life right now. I do like The Artist. Like I love silent. I love film in general. I think The Artist is a really effective silent film. That was made in this decade, which is also a phenomenal feat. But I say no. I think there are if you want that classic feel, I think there are other films that deserve on this list more. So yeah, the Arch gets a no from me. Sorry, Robert.
No, that's totally fair.
First of all, I want to look up things. The Arch was nominated against. The Descendants, Extremely Loud, Incredibly Close.
Toy Story 3, I know that.
No, that was the year before.
Oh, no, it's 2010, right? Oh, 2011,
No.
2011.
No,
yeah.
that was 2011.
Artist came out in
Hugo,
2011, yeah.
Yeah,
Midnight in
2011.
Paris, Moneyball, Tree of Life, and Warhorse. So not a lot of competition.
Yeah.
Well, Hugo's pretty damn good.
Hugo. I'm about to give it to
Hugo's
Hugo.
Hugo or money.
Grandpa's got 3D machine.
There's got to be something
So-
else they didn't nominate. There are other better movies they didn't nominate, I'm sure.
Yeah.
There were. All right, so up to me next. I'm going to nominate a movie that I'm surprised has not been brought up yet. Filmed by making movies. That's Sunset Boulevard.
That was my classic.
Sunset Boulevard.
You got it on
and,
there.
like, I'm surprised nobody has brought it up yet. It's one of the classic films.
I didn't think
That makes
anyone
movies.
would, honestly. I apparently don't have faith in you guys.
It also illustrates the burden that fame can have on an actress or on people in general. So yeah, I think Sunset Boulevard. Jeremy, do I even need to ask you, or can we just skip past?
It's my number 3. It's the best. It's so great. Everyone watch it, please.
Okay. All right, so that's the yes from Jeremy. Robert.
So I've seen a vast majority of this movie, but I haven't seen the entire thing. But from what I have seen, because I haven't been able to finish it off yet, from what I have seen, I'm going to say yes on this one for sure.
All right, so that's it. Sunset Boulevard gets the last spot on the list.
And
Yep.
we're all
Alex,
ready for our close-up.
Yeah, that
I would have said yes because A, it is a classic movie about old Hollywood. B, it's a classic noir thriller. And C, it's just one of the best movies ever made. So yes, it would have been in the list.
All right, so we have our 7 movies. Before we go on to the next round, let's get some honorable mentions out of the way. I will start first. A lot of movies on my list actually got on. Other ones I want to throw out there: Bowfinger, classic comedy with
Yes.
Steve Martin and
Honorable mention.
Eddie Murphy. Shadow of the Vampire, which is
Yeah.
the fictitious telling of the story of making Nosferatu.
Yep.
The whole idea that Max Schreck was actually a vampire in real life, I think it's fantastic. Willem Dafoe is amazing in that movie. Actually got an Oscar nomination. A bit of an obscure one. It's Be Kind, Rewind. This film was directed by Michel Gondry.
Yes, I was
Yeah.
going to say that was in my top 10 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michel Gondry directed this one. It's about this neighborhood who makes films after literally they're in the VHS shop and all the VHSs get erased, so they have to remake all the movies.
Yep.
I think it's great, and I don't think it would have gotten on, but I like to throw it out there.
Yeah.
Let's go to Alex. Alex, any other film you want to throw out there before we go on?
Well, you threw a couple out there. Bowfinger. I would have thrown out Adaptation. That was the next one on my list I was going to nominate.
Yeah.
Also, on the subject of movies about movies, I would have thrown out the movie Fanboys, about 4 friends who travel cross country to try and steal the first print of Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, back in 1998. It's a movie about how much we love movies and how it impacts us as fans. I think that should have gone up there a bit. I didn't have it in my top 7, though, but it would have made it out with some of my other selections. I also would have said the original King Kong, because a lot of people forget that is a movie
that is
about
true.
making a movie, and then they just happen to run into a 50-foot ape.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's not a bad pick. Jeremy, anything else you want to throw out there before we go on? Jeremy, you.
Oh yeah. The other one that was on my list, my number 7, is I think it's one a lot of people wouldn't think of right off the top, but when you actually think about it, it is about movies and the power of movies, and actually like how movies can kill the bad guys. That would be Inglourious Bastards. Inglourious Bastards is my number 7.
Oh God.
I didn't even think about that one. You're right.
Yeah. I was actually going to nominate it instead of Sunset Boulevard, which is crazy because Sunset Boulevard is my number 3, but whatever. I also, another classic one, a classic one that a lot of people probably haven't seen, but it's so great, is Sullivan's Travels. It's kind of
I knew you were going to bring that one up.
A madcap comedy about a guy who is tired of making comedy films, so he tries to go serious, and all of his attempts to make a serious film are just complete farce. It's a really great movie from the 40s. And then also a movie that is, I love this film, and it's so weird, and I try to tell people to watch it, and I can't explain to them why it's so great, but it's so great. It's the Coen Brothers, Barton Fink. And being a frustrated writer, that movie is like the #1 movie for me in that, and then, yeah, I guess the Son of Rambo, which is an indie movie from the UK.
Yeah.
Real good one.
When you said guerrilla filmmakers, I thought that was the film you were going to bring up.
No, yeah, but yeah, definitely a good one. And then, oh man, there was one more. Now I can't remember. go on.
Wait, Jamie, was it The Player? Was it The Player?
The Player. Oh my God, The Player was on my list. It actually, Inglourious Bastards and The Player. I can't read. The Player was number 6, and Inglourious Bastards was number 7. Thank you for catching me, Chance. Yeah, thank you for catching me.
Yeah,
great Robert Altman film.
Quick story about Sullivan's Travels. There's a story I heard. I don't know if it's true, but I could see it being true. Is Steven Spielberg writing AFI? Just like Jaws or Raiders of the Lost Ark off your top 100 movies list and put Sullivan's Travels on.
Wouldn't be surprised.
I could see that being true. You want to throw out before we go on?
Yeah, I just have 2. Instead of Barton Fink, there's a. What was that?
I said Malcom, but
you cut out when you said the name.
Chance's connection. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Malcolm.
No.
Sorry. I was also gonna say King Kong. That was another one that was on my list.
Yeah.
So the original 1933 King Kong is fantastic, but also a different Coen Brothers movie. I actually am a big fan of Hail Caesar. I know not a lot of people are, but that's one that I would just like to throw out. That's the definition of honorable mention for me is Hail Caesar.
I haven't seen it yet, unfortunately. I need to see it.
Well, I mean, for me, like most of my list got on, but ones that didn't was I actually had Hail Caesar on mine as well because I just loved it. I also had My Week with Marilyn.
Oh yeah,
on there,
good
and
movie.
then
Good movie.
One that I can't believe I didn't think of earlier was thinking about it. It does count was La La Land.
That's the one we all thought you were going to vote for.
See,
we had
about that.
Pick.
Yeah. See, I had that also on my. That was when I was first constructing this list. When I first found out the topic, I'm like, oh, La La Land's #1, and then I thought about it more. I'm like, is it about making movies though? Like, nope. You ride a really thin line, so that's why I didn't bring it up right away because that would have been my #1. But that's
let the record show. Let the record show before we started rolling, I made a bet with these guys that La La Land was going to be your first nomination, Malcolm. All right, so we got our mentions out of the way. Let's move on. Mark, you want to run us through our top 7?
Okay, so far we have the first one that was voted in was Singing in the Rain. Second, Saving Mr. Banks. Third, Ed Wood. Fourth, Tropic Thunder. Fifth, New Nightmare. Boogie Nights was number 6, and the final one was Sunset Boulevard.
Oh, what a great list we have so far.
Yeah, it is good.
There's no Jingle All the Way. We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
No Jingle All the Way. Well, here comes the hard part. We now have to cut 2 of these films. How it's going to work. It's going to work pretty much the opposite of round 1 of selection process 1. Nominate films. We're going to vote on whether or not to stay on the list. These films are knocked off. I'm not going to go first. Let's let Jeremy do that.
Oh, yeah. Do we have to whiteboard it? Or no, we nominated first. That's right. Yeah. Saving Mr. Banks.
All right. So, okay. No. Okay. All right. Fine. Saving Mr. Banks is on the chopping block.
I'm going to agree with it. I agree with it. Saving Mr. Banks out of the 7.
Mr. Banks getting knocked off. All right. Mr. Banks getting knocked off the list. Malcolm.
Okay.
No, it shouldn't get knocked off.
Okay.
All right. Robert.
No, it should not get knocked off. This is absolutely in the top 5.
Oh, Chance.
Why do I do this to myself?
You got to start going first, buddy.
Yeah, I need to start going first. I can't do this anymore. Really quick. Run me through what's on this list again.
Yeah, sorry. It took me a second there. You cut out again. Singing in the Rain, Saving Mr. Banks, Ed Wood, Tropic Thunder, New Nightmare, Boogie Nights, and Sunset Boulevard.
Okay, for me, Mr. Banks very clear. For me, this comes down to if this doesn't get kicked off, what will instead? I'm sorry, Tom. I'm sorry, PL Travers. It gets knocked off. It hurt. That really hurt.
Heresy.
If only they got Disneyland right. Then if they'd gotten Disneyland right, I would have voted at number 1.
All right. Well, Robert, you can get your spite votes in now. What do you want to kick off?
Out of the 6 that are left, I would say that not in the top 5 should be New Nightmare.
New Nightmare. All right. You're kicking off both of Malcolm's films first.
Aw, we're sorry, Malcolm. So sorry, buddy.
I love New Nightmare. I think it's a great movie. It's definitely in the top 7 for sure, but I don't think it's top 5.
All right, Malcolm.
Well, I mean, this is going to be surprising, but compared to what's there, I'm actually going to vote yes to knock it off. So.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's 2 votes. So we only need 1 more to ratify. Next. So not do this again. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say New Nightmare is off the list.
All right.
When I thought of what should kick off, it's New Nightmare and say Mr. Banks. Much I love both those films, I think these other 5 are stronger. So that's it for me. Alex, Jeremy, what would you have said?
I had it on the chopping block as well. I think it's a great horror movie, but in terms of being about making movies, there's really not a lot of that content about it in there. So yeah, it's off the list in my opinion.
Jeremy?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did you say me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Yeah, it wouldn't quite have made it. But again, it's such a good movie. Everyone go watch it. It just maybe not quite for this list.
All right. So, Mark, you want to run through our top 5?
Our top 5 in no particular order right now. Singing in the Rain, Tropic Thunder, Ed Wood, Boogie Nights, and Sunset Boulevard.
Well, it's funny you say no particular order right now because we are now going to put them in a particular order. Segue. 5 points. All right, so what we're going to do is a spot on the list is going to be up for voting. We are going to write down on our whiteboards, whatever you have on hand, what we think deserves to be in that list. We're going to go 5, 4, 3, and then we're going to vote on the number 1 spot. You guys will all kindly write down what film you think goes in the number 5 spot. What was the 4th?
It's funny. These are 5 of my top 6. I did not expect that to happen.
Jeremy wins.
Wait, hold on, Mark. One more, run through the top 5 one more time. I forgot.
Singing in the Rain, Sunset Boulevard, Boogie Nights, Tropic Thunder, and the Great Ed Wood.
That was the one I was forgetting.
Oh, you know what? I'm totally wrong. It's my top 5. This is my top 5. Wow.
Oh, God damn it. You win this match.
I forgot I bumped the player out and put Boogie Nights in. Huh.
All right. Everyone ready?
Yeah.
Start with me.
Mm-hmm.
Singing in the Rain for number 5.
Wow. I don't have enough room. Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
Ooh, too much Tropic Thunder. Okay.
For principle, just because I haven't seen the entire thing yet since Sunset Boulevard.
Okay.
All right. I had Boogie Nights. Tropic Thunder has 2 votes, so that gets the number 5 spot.
Oh.
Sorry, Mark.
Well, you guys just fucked my list. That was my number 1, so prepare for hell.
Oh, boy.
Got my marker? All right, so now we vote on the number 4 spots. All right. Everyone ready? We all good?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. I will start first. I kept Boogie Nights. Robert?
Kept Sunset Boulevard.
All right. Malcolm?
Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights.
And Alex.
I kept Singing in the Rain.
Oh, wow. All right, so Boogie Nights gets the number 4 spot.
And now the final 3, you get to choose from Singing in the Rain, Sunset Boulevard, and Ed Wood.
I love you all so much that this is the top 3. God damn it, I'm happy right now. I'm so happy right now. Sorry, Alex.
I don't know what kind of black magic Jeremy used to do this.
I don't know what the
now
hell
we're on the
happened.
number
This
3
is
spots.
weird. After my Jingle All the Way woes, this is like bizarre. I don't know what to do.
All right.
Now.
Just wait. One more second.
We'll go when you're ready, Robert.
We're good.
Ready? All right, Alex.
Singing in the Rain again.
All right. Jeremy.
Sunset Boulevard, it was my number 3.
Sunset Boulevard.
Robert, do I even need to ask you?
Oh, Lord of the Rings Appendices Disc 2 of Fellowship. But underneath that,
Yeah, I also
What?
have Sunset Boulevard.
What freaking rinky-dink theater did they play that in, Robert?
I'm trying to find. I can't find that DVD.
you know what? It was my home theater, Jeremy.
Oh, okay. You got like 10 people to come over, and that counts as a theatrical release? Is that what we're talking about now?
Yeah, I charged admission too. I charged admission. That's why it worked.
Okay.
Oh, how much you make on that? Let's put a down payment on a house.
Down
Maybe.
down payment on a Hobbit hole. You beat me to it.
All right. So now we have to vote on the number 1 spot on the list.
So this is what we think should be number 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Number 1 on the list between Singing in the Rain and Ed Wood.
Wow, I can't believe this happened. This is crazy. Look, Alex, I know you feel bad that Tropic Thunder got dropped down, but, you know, remember what happened with Jingle All the Way is all I have to say. You could be going through that kind of thing right now.
Exactly.
That's true.
We almost didn't get It's a Wonderful Life on the list, guys.
All right.
because of Jingle All the
And
Way.
Christmas Story. Both of those, well, you didn't like Christmas Story,
Well,
but yeah.
hey,
Right.
you know, at least your movies made the list.
All right. Alex.
For number 1, Ed Wood.
Jeremy.
Yeah, I already gave it away. It's Ed Wood. Sorry. I don't think you can see me.
Ed Wood.
Yeah, Ed Wood. Ed Wood.
Okay. Malcolm.
Singing in the Rain.
Nice.
Robert.
Singing in the Rain.
Oh,
Oh.
tiebreaker.
Story of my life this episode. It's hard. I do love both these films. You, Super 8.
Ah,
Singing in the Rain gets the top
There
spot on
you
the
go.
list.
nice.
Yeah.
Wow, what a good list. I am so happy.
All right, so our list is from number 5, Tropic Thunder, Boogie Nights. Number 3, Sunset Boulevard, Wood, and number 1, film about making movies.
Mhm.
Another great list.
All right, that was a good
All
one,
right.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a good
good
one.
list.
That was fun.
Good list.
Yeah. We'll have to do
right.
another one where everyone wants to kill each other again. This was too nice.
Oh, boy. We'll get to that one with the Muppets episode.
Oh, no, boy. Oh, man.
I
Yeah,
am
right.
not gonna be
Well,
able to-
I want to do top 5 favorite Muppets actual characters. That's going to be a
Oh,
bloodbath.
that would
An
be
absolute
that would
bloodbath.
be a bloodbath. Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be.
we're gonna need
fun.
Zach for that one. We're gonna need Zach for that
Zach
one.
and Linus
and
for
Linus.
that one.
Linus
And
too.
Linus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I think let's close out the show for me, for all my
Oh,
crew here for
actually-
Film Trivia.
Chance,
What?
before we do, I do have another announcement, much like I did in our last
boy.
video.
Oh boy.
I teased it at
Full
the end
credit.
of this week's episode of Full Metal Trivia on Monday. I have a new show that we're going to be debuting very soon called Full Metal Faves. I am very happy to announce the first topic we will discuss on Full Metal Faves will be coming up this weekend, and it's discussing the films of Mr. Edgar Wright,
Oh, nice.
one of my all-time favorite filmmakers, a man who loves the process of filmmaking and movies about filmmaking. I figured I'd just throw it out there, let everyone know. Expect that very soon.
All right. Also, you should be expecting Friday. At Friday, we have the Full Metal Call Out between Sabrath and Andrew Hayes, which should be interesting. And right after that, we will have another episode of Full Metal 5 for you guys. Top 5 biopics in honor of all the biopics we have being released this time of year. Should be very interesting. Stay tuned for all that. So for me, for all my crew here, Full Metal Trivia, for our panelists, Robert, Jeremy, Alex, and Malcolm, Mark, and me, of course, Chance Tide Ellison, I just want to say thank you for watching and goodbye.